Respected seniors, our esteemed guest, and my dear colleagues, a very pleasant good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of IT Division, I welcome you all to the day 4 of the MSIL IT Security Week 2022. As MD San said in his opening speech, that we need to be cyber safe to safeguard our critical business information. Today we are going to discuss about the information security in the core of our business, which is manufacturing. The theme for today's session is importance of data security in manufacturing. To run a smart factory, we need to be cyber smart. Previously, manufacturing and other industrial sectors had no need to connect their systems to the internet. At that time, the web was still growing. Now, most business have digital presence. We want real-time data. Digital presence demands a strong, secure security posture. Manufacturing organizations have weathered an onslaught of ransomware and other attacks in 2020. The manufacturing industry overall was the second most targeted after finance and insurance, having been the eighth most targeted industry in 2019. Hence, the need of the hour is to brace ourselves to outsmart the attackers by being completely aware of the threats and the practices. To know more about the importance of data security in manufacturing, I would like to request and invite PK Roy sir, Senior Executive Director, Production Vertical, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, to set the concept for today's session and invite the keynote speaker. I would also like to request everyone to drop their queries in the comment section for this session. Over to you, PK Roy san.
Thank you, Kausar, for inviting me for this session. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Mr. Ravindra. First of all, I would like to compliment our IT team for organizing the first ever Information Security Week at MSIL this year. To my mind, this could not have come at a better time as we see rapid digitalization all around us in every walks of life, bringing immense convenience and changing our lives forever. Unfortunately, however, human history is full of examples where the inventions of a well-meaning inventor has found completely different applications in the hands of wrong people, sometimes with devastating consequences for the mankind, bringing death and destruction as well. Drone is an apt example of what I am trying to convey. Naturally, digital technology also cannot escape wrongful use, sometimes unfortunately at the hands of the most brilliant minds of the world. I saw a report recently in which it was claimed that a 19-year-old was able to hack into over 25 Tesla cars in 13 countries. Thankfully, he could not intervene with someone driving these cars, but he was able to start music at maximum volume or flash headlights and things like that. It was also pointed out that it was not a vulnerability in Tesla's infrastructure, but a fault of owners of those vehicles. This example shows the importance of awareness about cybersecurity amongst the users of advanced digital technology in any kind or in any form. As rightly said by Kosser, in today's modern world, our factories are getting smarter by the day and our shop floors are getting digitalized. We have a huge network of interconnected equipments and devices which continuously collect and share data and process data and store the data in the servers on the edge as well as in cloud for real time autonomous decision making. During the pandemic, we have extensively used remote access technologies for commissioning of new equipment or troubleshooting by overseas equipment manufacturers. All of these interactions across domains makes our systems vulnerable to cyber attacks. As Kosser mentioned a while ago, manufacturing industry has been ranked as the second most attacked industry in 2020 and it received close to 18% of all attacks. However strong our firewall may be, it is the user behavior which is the most critical element of our cyber resilience. I am told over 50% of ransomware attacks succeed due to careless user practices. It is just like the car we manufacture. It might be loaded with state of the art safety features, but it is as safe as the driver driving it. To safeguard our operations, our data, our reputation, and ultimately our business and livelihood, we must always be alert and aware about the threats around us in the field of cybersecurity. We are fortunate to have with us Mr. Ravindra, who is an expert in this field. Mr. Ravindra is head of IT ITES certifications in British Standards Institution, India. Mr. Ravindra has over 35 years of experience across various industries, including IT and manufacturing, and has been at the helm of IT certifications in BSI India for over a decade now. Thank you, sir, for taking out time to be with us today. We are looking forward to learn from your rich experience and expertise in this extremely important field of today's digital world. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for this opening talk. And well, I thank on behalf of BSI uh, for choosing BSI as your partner. And as you know, we already certify your system for information security. And today's topic, very hot topic in the sense that we are concerned about safety of not only the passengers but also about the information. Information of late has become a gold mine for hackers, and they use all kind of sophisticated methods to hack into the system. And especially the personal information system has become of more importance for hackers. And we see all kind of age people, right from the youngest people at 17 years, 20 years involved in this, shows the kind of threat perspective. And in this regard, organizations have to be proactive to ensure not only the vehicles are safe, it is also important that their informations what has been collected is also safe, to ensure confidence among the customers. So in this regard, I will take you through the presentation on the current mobility trend, the standards ecospace, cybersecurity is not just about just we implement a standard and manage them. It is all about having multiple best practices, multiple standards, following consistently, not only in the organization, across the supply chain, to ensure that the systems are safe. So in this regard, I will take you through the presentation to give you a high level about the current industry trends in automobile, and what are the cybersecurity solutions available to manage the current threat perspective. So I will share the screen. Okay. Hope you are able to see the screen. Yeah, Akansha, can you see?
Yeah, the skid is visible. PPT
Yeah.
is visible.
Okay.
You can, yeah,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome once again for this session on automobile information security, cyber security, and very honored to be present in this information security week of your organization. And BSI is one of the improvement partner of choice in the security environment, and we have delivered many standards in this security space to drive innovation and enhance security and improve stakeholders confidence. So I'll just take you through the trends in mobility, challenges we face, what are the standards available to address the cybersecurity issues, data privacy, very important component, business continuity. So all this forms under cybersecurity, which comes. And lastly, I can take few questions depending on the time of in this domain. On the mobility trend, you see initially we started manufacturing, and in collaboration with ancillary units, we used to get components, assemble, sell it to the customer. It was a traditional manufacturing 15 to 20 years ago. Today, there are many players who have added on to the automobile eco space, which includes interested parties like insurers, we have consumers, we have ancillary units. In addition to this, we now have technology players, software developers, connectivity equipment providers, are all now getting into the eco space, which is making more and more complex in terms of how we manage the system. So this is the current scenario. And in well, on the continuing on the trend, yeah, well, we also have the standards coming up. One, you see the autonomous vehicles. There is a project endeavor in UK going on to have this driverless vehicles connecting many cities. We have connected cars. We have GPS. You have USB, internet, navigation systems, so many things on the car which is coming on to make it connected, and there are various standards to address the issues arising out of this. Then we have of course electric cars are the current trend now, where there are challenges about the how do we handle the battery swapping, electronic vehicle standards, charging points. and the future of transport, where we have smart cities. Smart cities also helping the vehicles in terms of the navigation systems, getting connected, Wi-Fi, internet. You have from the smart cities coming up. So in this current session, my focus will be on cybersecurity, dealing with the standards related to that, so that you have rest of the other. There are other topics. Of course, BSI is already there. We have standards on electric vehicles, standards on smart cities. Various standards have been published also on the autonomous vehicles. But today, I will be limiting myself to cybersecurity in the connected and automated vehicles. Okay, sorry. Yeah, coming to the challenges in managing security, we have challenges in terms of increased vulnerability of a complex electronics system in the car. There are number of connected cars are growing every day. Today, the cars that are getting released have GPS navigation system available, where it can take you to the destination what you select. Navigation systems are available, so the connectivity is increasing. Legal and regulators are not keeping quiet. They are enforcing many requirements and standards to ensure safety of the passengers as well as safety of information. And the car is not just connected to the internet. Through that, there are many other external entities we get connected, which creating new risk. And so now this is coming up. The standards are now getting developed, and common acceptable standards are coming up. Right now, it is not so matured like other standards. So maybe this year you will see many standards coming up with accreditation on the security of automobiles. Following the security incidents, like how Mr. Roy explained earlier, how the Tesla car was hacked. And recently there was one more incident which happened. A boy was tracking a private jet of Tesla CEO, and he had to pay some money to stop tracking him. These kind of incidents has financial and brand and image impact on the organization. And there has been a growing threat from hackers, especially the sophisticated way they attack. Sometimes we don't know we have been hacked. These are the some of the challenges we face in managing the security. In this regard, as I said, regulators are working on it. We already have a working party 29 from United Nations who are going to release a set of regulations on vehicle cybersecurity that will have a significant impact on the automotive industry, which needs to adhere to, especially when you export to European and US countries. You have to follow these standards, what they are going to release shortly on the. So regulators are imposing controls on the organization to ensure the information is safe. On the standards landscape, as I said earlier, it is not just using one standard you can address this issue. That there are many which comes with functional safety, information and cybersecurity, and quality. Coming to quality and functional safety, we are fairly matured. There are few scope for improvements, but by and large, industry is doing very well when it comes to functional and quality safety. Information and cybersecurity, day by day, it is getting complex. The way, because newer electronic systems are getting placed, artificial intelligence is coming up, driverless vehicles are coming up. For that, you need a lot of information to deliver such services. Now, there is a challenge there to ensure how information is maintained with regard to security, and there are standards again available to be implemented to prevent cybersecurity attacks. Connected and automated vehicle standards is based on 6 themes. One is on safety and security, perception, decision making, artificial intelligence, data including personal data privacy, security, information security at all levels is required, digital infrastructure, then of course the human factor. Human factor is the most crucial factor. Enough information to be given to them, train them. It is well tested, and they ensure they don't use they use the system properly. Right. So around these 6 themes is where the standards are evolving, and to ensure the vehicles information are secured. And on the coming to cybersecurity on automobiles, if I see the threat perspective, here we have a vehicle on the left hand side. You can see the kind of vulnerabilities which can be hacked into the vehicle. We have our onboard diagnosis system. Malicious firmware update could hack the system. Malicious infection through USB connection. Attack from downloader applications. Man-in-the-middle attack. Software vulnerabilities, if they are not fixed from time to time, they could be exploited. Attack on key certificate stored in the vehicle, and unauthorized infected mobile devices, because our mobile phones are also gets connected to the car, and if any infection through from them is also one of our source. And yeah, the remove attack on vehicle bus. Okay, so these are all the avenues from where the information could be attacked, hacked from the system. And so the potential of hacking has increased, and there are many number of potential targets in a vehicle now available. So organizations should ensure that throughout the system is taken care. So some of the best practices is to ensure cybersecurity standards or implemented throughout the design. Defense in depth principle is one of the core pillars. Defense in depth means having multiple layers, like you have dual authentication to log into the system, system password changed frequently. Any system that is developed which is critical should have 2 or 3 layers of defense, right? Security by design throughout your vehicle manufacturing is one of the best practices. Apply the latest standards. They would have been developed taking into account latest threat perspective. So you have many standards available. Apply them the latest, so that the latest threat perspectives are taken care. In this regard, we have one of the road vehicle cybersecurity engineering standard. This will help not only addressing the cybersecurity issues, it also helps in meeting the compliance with United Nations working parties regulations that are coming up. Okay, so the standard is designed keeping in view of the regulators requirement also, and this is one of the standard most suitable for the managing the vehicle cybersecurity requirements. Yeah, as always, you have the mother of all standards, information security management system. Here, the system is, of course, your organization is already certified for this, for the scope of IT operations. Uh, this is as simple as protecting confidentiality, integrity, availability of the information in your system. Confidentiality, we share the information on a need to know basis. Integrity, information is complete and accurate. Availability, information is available at right time to right people. Okay. So it is the obligation of all the stakeholders to ensure these properties of information are maintained. Of all, the most important one is integrity. Integrity at all levels, whether they are confidential or not, has to be complete and accurate. That's our topmost priority, integrity. Once integrity is ensured, confidentiality and availability, depending on the sensitivity of the information, they are controls are applied. Controls are applied if it is highly sensitive information on a need to know basis it's shared. Availability, depending on the requirement, if it is supposed to be highly available, make it available 24/7. Need to be available as and when it is required. You can, I walk into the showroom, and if I need to know about the latest vehicle on road, on from the organization, I should be able to see at that point of time. Okay, so it should be available as and when required. So these information security is about maintaining these properties of information. Once you maintain these property, definitely it will enhances the stakeholder confidence, reduces the risk of breach. It demonstrates commitment by the organization to the stakeholders, reinforces a brand reputation and the stakeholder confidence, right? And strengthens organization resilience in the sense that you will be able to manage any cybersecurity threats, and well, you will also be able to meet the stakeholders expectations, contractual legislation, and of course avoid any repercussions for the violation. And TISAX is a standard trusted information security assessment exchange. It's a standard which is originated from Europe, especially Germany, which in Germany it's a requirement that not just the organization will maintain information security, it is the entire supply chain you need to maintain information security. So in India, we have many software companies who develop software for German auto industry. Many of those companies are certified for TISAX to demonstrate information security in supply chain. Though your organization may not be manufacturing for any German auto industry, but if you follow this standard, it will be it will demonstrate, and you will get to know the health of information security in supply chain. Okay, so that's the beauty of this standard. ISO 27001 we have, but that's a very generic standard which covers supply chain also. But this standard is very specific to managing information security in the supply chain till the end of the customer. Okay, that's the management of this standard. And data privacy of late has become the most crucial requirement apart from information security. Data privacy is also a part of information security. Any personal information collected, we can't afford to be misused for any other purpose or shared with unauthorized people. Nowadays, people would would like not to be observed, not to be disturbed. They would like to maintain anonymity. Okay, if I buy a car, I expect the dealer not to share publicly what car I have purchased. Right? If I buy a car, maybe myself, my family should know. Somebody cannot get into your system and see what is it I have purchased. Secrecy, yeah. There are many other information which I share with you. I would like to ensure that it is maintained confidential, which has been collected. And now individuals are highly informed. They would not like to have their presence made public. They would like to express their information selective, and because they own the presence, they own their presence. And I would like to share one scenario here of how it has happened. Well, I'm also a proud owner of a Maruti car. I have a Maruti car, and I went through this process to buy the car. I went to the dealer. He connected me to the bank. So the dealer asked me to fill the form. This is some 10 years back it happened. And well, in the form, my name, house address, age, gender, date of birth, wedding anniversary date was all collected. And bank, another form was there. My bank details, account number, credit card number, bank statements, last few years, income tax returns for few years were all collected, right? So I plan to upgrade the car. I would like to visit maybe in next month. And well, 10 years back, I was so free to share all the information. Now I am selective. I would like to know why my wedding anniversary date is collected, or date of birth is collected. I got for a few years, kept on getting messages on those dates of some promotional activities, which was not of that interest to me. I didn't have a choice to stop that message also. Finally, I had to change my mobile number, and then, so stop those messages. But that's a scenario. So here is an example where the information is collected, and both dealer and bank exchange the information. And dealer has got his own website, bank has got its own website. I don't know where these information are shared. Probably if I had kept that mobile number, even today I would have got those messages. I don't know how long they were going to retain my information, and there is no any mention of what information is collected, what purpose, how long it is going to be retained. Because my bank loan, everything is over, and now I don't know. Probably I would have got those messages even now. And well, information security, privacy matters, and we expect controls in the entire supply chain to be maintained by the organization. And I would like not to misuse any of my information, could be kept confidential. And if required, I should be having a choice to modify or delete or remove the information. Maybe today you would have put some controls, I'm not sure, but this is the expectation in the industry, which is a part of information security. And for hackers in cybersecurity space, this is a gold mine. This information is a gold mine for them, which they could take it up. And well, the challenge to the organization, well, there is a heightened public awareness worldwide about how the information has to be managed. And there is a regulators also putting a lot of controls in the eco space, making organizations life tougher. And on top of it, the data subjects, consumers know their rights. They are now fully aware of their rights, and they can deny in terms of sharing information. And this makes organizations accountability being increased, and stakeholders expectation has gone up. Okay, that's the challenge what we face today. And in this regard, we have a standard called ISO 27701. This standard is about personal information management system, released in August 2019. It helps organizations to put control to protect information, which is an extension of information security standard 27002 security controls. You will be able to implement a privacy framework in the organization as well as your supply chain to ensure the controls meet the requirements of the stakeholders, including the regulators worldwide. And very importantly, this standard also helps to meet the requirement of India Personal Data Protection Act, which should be shortly getting uh, enacted with the in the country, and this is sector independent. On all sector has to adhere to this act, which should be shortly approved by the parliament, and therefore organization has to take proactive action and have the controls implemented. And as I said earlier, this personal information is a gold mine to hackers, and daily they keep trying using sophisticated methods to access the information. Well, we have business continuity to meet the requirement of availability component of information security. You need to have continuity in place. If we if I go to a if I log into a website and if it's not working, I can't see what vehicles are available. I go to a showroom and a showroom is not able to generate an invoice, or they are not able to deliver the equipments because their systems are not working. This disruptions will reduce the customer confidence, and therefore you need to have continuity controls at all levels to ensure information is available as committed, right? This standard helps to put controls at all key components at all levels of the organization, including the supply chain, to prepare for any unforeseen event. It will mitigate the risk. It will put a plan in place so that if that risk mitigates, you have a plan to execute and continue your service. May not be at 100%, could be at a reduced operational level, and therefore this standard to a great extent helps in mitigating the risk in the business disruption. And of course, following this, the confidence of the stakeholders will enhance. You will have organizations will know their capability to continue in case of an adverse event, and this standard has adopted by many countries, and there are many clients on board, which has really helped them in this pandemic situation, which is a mother of all disruptor. And we never expected this kind of a global impact. Automobile industry also had a major impact in this scenario, and yeah, this standard has helped those who had system in place. And it is not just getting certified or not, but when you have these kind of continuity controls, to a large extent it has helped. And we have disrupting incident at all levels. We always have a kind of this will not happen to me. If I ask him, okay, if half the people are not available, how will you continue? No, sir, that will never happen. It has not happened. How do you say this? What happens if this site is down, and how will you continue? Site going down never happened. I don't think it will happen. If at all, if it happens, maybe at that time we'll see what needs to be done. This kind of answers we used to get from past, I think, 3 to 4 years back. Now, organizations have learned lessons with various impacts, including the current pandemic impact. We have disrupting incident at all levels: our technology, IT outage, cyber attacks, supply chain, contractual violations, product recall due to faulty product also has a significant impact. People, yeah, lack of key skill, health, safety, and well-being not taken care, their personal informations being misused, will all impact the regular operation. Sustainability, adverse weather, natural disasters, resource shortage. Currently, we have this chip shortage, which is affecting the automobile industry to maintain the required service levels. And on top of it, regulators at all levels. Regulators is not just at one area, they are at all levels, which are putting challenges on the organization. Like when it comes to people, the regulators say that you have to wear masks, social distancing, not more than 50 people in an office can work, and during the lockdown you can't go to office at all. So how will we maintain business? How will we ensure information is up to date? If people, if I have laptop at home, it's fine. There are organizations where they work only on desktop and their daily job is to update the information. And if they are not going to office for a week or 15 days, how will the information be kept up to date is a big challenge. So these are the disruptive incidents which are looking at, and these incidents are such that are of a higher impact with a lower probability. We are looking at a incident which is of a higher impact. Okay, chip shortage is of a higher impact. It's an incident is equal to a large impact. Where personal information being leaked out from the customer database, it's of a higher impact. Such probabilities are low, but then we need to be prepared. So here is where you need to be prepared for higher impact at lower probability, and this standard will help you to protect against such incidents we discussed, reduce their likelihood of occurrence by having multiple controls, and if at all if it happens, we need to be prepared to respond and recover from such incidents. Having these standards doesn't mean to say that cybersecurity will not attack, will not happen, incidents will not happen, or personal information will not be misused. We don't guarantee that. What we mean to say here, by having these best practices, such occurrences can be lower. If at all, if an incident happens, it could be of a lower impact because sufficient controls will be there. And when any such incident happens, you will know well in advance. There are monitoring controls which will tell you such an incident has happened, by having controls in the place. That is the purpose of the having control, so that you can prevent a further damage in the system. So that is the purpose of having a system. And lastly, when an incident happens, regulators will question you. They will question the management. Okay, customer information has been hacked, and SEBI will ask you, what have you done to prevent? If you inform SEBI saying that, yeah, I have all these controls in place, I have multiple controls in place, we get audited, we review the controls, and maybe it's a new threat perspective, or insider or outsider would have been involved in the attack. But as an organization, this is what we have done. This gives confidence to the stakeholders, where you may not be penalized because you put up a honest figure and tell the authorities saying that these are the actions we have taken, and therefore organization is protected, people are protected, revenue is protected. So at the major takeaway of having these many best practices and international standards within the organization. And well, this standard provides you a framework which helps you to continuously evaluate your controls. Where controls are weak, you can enhance, you can strengthen the controls. Stakeholders will get a health check report through the audit reports about the health of the management system, where to focus, what action needs to be taken, and ensure resources are competent to deal with unexpected adverse events which compromises confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the information. Okay, and well, on the future of the transport looks very complicated. On the left side, you have many wire technologies within the system. On the right side, you see so many actors who are involved to deliver the services, including the government agencies, various associations, retailers, bank, insurance, logistics are all involved, and maintaining interoperability, portability between the systems, and managing information security appears to be a big challenge, right? Once you are able to manage this kind of ecosystems, the benefits are huge. You will be able to see the benefit, such as reduced information security incidents, because security incidents will result in a huge financial loss, brand image and reputation being impacted. So these management systems will help reduce these such security incidents, and therefore protect brand and reputation, reduce cost of correction, enhance stakeholders confidence, retention of customer, competitive advantage, increase staff retention. Staff will always be happy to work in a very safe, structured kind of environment, not in a unsafe or a chaos environment. Therefore, you see staffs working for a longer period, mainly because of the system that are in place within the organization help retain the staff. And well, as per the IDC estimates, you will see the vehicles getting connected for more than 119 billion 90 billion unique objects. If I get connect to one system, that connects to other multiple system, and that is in turn connected to other multiple system. A chain goes on. The billions of systems are getting connected, even in a car which I'm driving, and this is getting complex and complex day by day, and therefore it becomes a top priority for the organization to address information security, protect privacy of your all the people, not just the customer, all the people in the system. Privacy has to be protected, because the technologies are becoming complex, and threat environment has become increasingly capable, sophisticated. They are able to even break the multiple layers, complex passwords, encryptions, they're able to do. And therefore, so from time to time, we need to ensure we have effective controls in place to ensure the information security and about the passenger safety. Okay. So with this, I would like to conclude, and like to take any questions for the uh, another 10 minutes we have.
So, thank you, Mr. Ravinder, for such an
Yeah,
insightful session. I think we surely have taken lessons from your presentations, gained some knowledge, which would definitely help us to
yeah,
take our information security journey forward. One question, mm, there are a lot
yeah.
of questions. I think that the positive of time will have one or two maybe, and for others we will take a response from you offline and
Okay.
then respond.
Right, right.
Uh, what certification is mandatory for auto manufacturers with respect to cyber security? Is
Yeah,
there any
the
specific mandate?
yeah. So certification as a market driver is not mandated from regulators. All stakeholders mention that it is a best practice to have within the organization. However, regulators conduct audit on the organization, right? So you need to demonstrate controls. So having these certification will help to face such audits confidently. You will get to know the control effectiveness. So it is in the organization interest is where you have the standard, but not coming as a mandate directly. Like in Germany, we have TISAX, which is a mandate. Here, it is not a direct mandate coming. It could be from the contractual requirement. It could be there. I'm not sure if you have any customers who are mandated, but not from the regulators. But regulators have mentioned in their law to have these standards as a best practice is what they have recommended.
Okay, okay, thanks. I think with the paucity of time, we would close the question hours right now. The
Uh,
before closing, I would like to thank you, Mr. Ravinder, for
yeah,
accepting our invitation
yeah,
and giving this time for a very interesting and informative session. It was really great honor to have you
yeah,
speak at MSIL Information Security Week.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would also like to thank Roy San for giving his time for from his busy schedule for setting the context. And I would thank all my seniors and colleagues for their valuable time and keen participation in today's session. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.